Hello, I'm John Ensminger, developer of Rhythm Lab 3.1. You can do some cool things with Rhythm Lab using Audiobus, GarageBand, and MIDI. In this demo, we'll create some backing tracks to use with Rhythm Lab. Let's get going. I'll start by opening the Audiobus app and loading Rhythm Lab as an input. Then load GarageBand as an output. In GarageBand, we'll start a new project using the audio recorder. We'll create an 8-measure backing track for a 4-measure Rhythm Lab pattern. You can tap the plus sign in the far right corner of the track ruler to adjust the length of the track. I'll lengthen the project to 10 measures to allow for a 2-measure metronome lead-in at the beginning of the tracks. For this demo, I'm going to get musical content into my track quickly and easily by using Apple loops. I'll start with a percussion track, big maracas. I'll create a second track using an orchestral sound, Courier strings. I'll make a few adjustments in the mixer settings. And then I'd like to set the tempo to 100 beats per minute. And remember to set the same tempo in Rhythm Lab. The Audiobus side panel makes it easy to switch directly to the Rhythm Lab app. I'll log in as a guest and scroll to the first 4/4 pattern in the Level 1A single exercises. First order of business is to set the tempo to 100 BPM, and then I'll save it for this pattern. I'll use the mixer button to change some volume settings. I'll select a new sound for the single pad. And find a new note. The loops in GarageBand default to the key of C. You can change those if you want to, but we'll leave them as is for now. Okay, I think we're all set. Let's do a tap session. Notice that pressing and holding the start button in Rhythm Lab and releasing on the downbeat makes it easier to synchronize with the GarageBand metronome. Let's do another tap session, this time with looping turned on. Let's create a custom pattern for this backing track. There are 3 options for creating custom patterns. Create a new pattern from scratch, copy an existing pattern, or generate a new pattern randomly. I'm going to create a new pattern, so I'll go with the default single pattern with 4 measures and a 4/4 time signature. When a new pattern template appears, it's in the default insert mode, so I can start adding notes to the pattern right away. I can toggle dots and rests with the buttons on the bottom row. You can tap anywhere above the controls area to add the selected note. To edit notes, swipe your finger anywhere above or below the notes to select them. Notice that you do not need to put your finger on the notes to select them. Once you release your finger, the editing menu will appear. To save and use this pattern, simply tap the Action menu item in the top right corner. Since I don't have any pattern sets created yet, I'll add this pattern to a new pattern set. You can name your pattern anything you want. I'm going to name this Courier 1. And I'll name the pattern set GB Demo. Let's return to the tapping screen and try out this custom pattern. The custom pattern we just created will show up on the Custom menu under Single Patterns. This MIDI keyboard is connected to the iPad through an Apple camera connector, and RhythmLab will automatically detect it. The MIDI keyboard will allow me to play any note, rather than being limited to the single note assigned to the tap pad. Let's try a different sound. The keyboard I'm using is a MIDI controller, but it doesn't produce any sound on its own. If you use a synth or some other digital piano that produces its own sounds, you can use those, of course. Simply set RhythmLab's pad volume to 0,